The San Francisco 49ers are walking a tightrope in the wake of the recent draft, with lingering doubts around their decisions and a rookie poised to shake things up. Could a new draft pick be on the verge of dethroning a veteran from the starting lineup? As we dive into the ramifications of the 2026 NFL Draft, the stakes couldn't be higher for the franchise. Fans, where are you watching from? We want to hear your thoughts on this situation. The 49ers traded out of the first round, making their first selection at the 33rd overall pick, and that choice is creating whispers that a veteran might need to brace for a challenge. There's a palpable sense of excitement surrounding the team's receiver room, and despite the advanced age of Mike Evans, he continues to defy expectations and remain one of the elite talents in the league. Meanwhile, Ricky Pearsall has shown flashes of brilliance that suggest he could be a significant contributor. However, the plot thickens at the number 3 receiver spot, where veteran Kirk now faces a serious threat from rookie Stribling. Kirk, with 8 years of experience and a 1,000-yard season under his belt in 2022, certainly has the upper hand in terms of experience. Yet, Stribling's physical attributes, his size and athleticism, could tilt the balance in his favor, as noted by analysts. Dane Brugler highlighted Stribling's impressive frame and acceleration, noting that while his route tree might not be the most versatile, his reliable hands, demonstrated by a 1.9% drop rate last season, speak volumes about his potential. Yet, he must refine his route running, a necessity that becomes even more critical at the NFL level. Brugler points out, Stribling isn't the most well-rounded in terms of his route success, but he possesses the competitive mentality and ball skills needed to carve out a significant role within the NFL. The numbers show promise. Stribling stands at 6'2" and weighs 207 pounds. His size gives him the potential to develop into a starting receiver, but the transition isn't a foregone conclusion. Lance Zierlein remarked on Stribling's downfield skills, suggesting that while he has above-average ball skills, he struggles with separation in tight coverage. Nevertheless, his competitive edge as a run blocker is noteworthy, and it's this kind of tenacity that could see him taking on a WR4 role, potentially pushing for a starting position down the line. But let's be real here. Kirk isn't going down without a fight. Head coach Kyle Shanahan has often shown a preference for veteran players, and Kirk's experience may still hold significant weight in the coming season. While some critics might see the 49ers as reaching for Stribling, Shanahan defended the decision, emphasizing that they conducted thorough research before making their selections. I think that was one of the coolest things with this draft, just so you don't reach on somebody, Shanahan explained. He acknowledges the risks associated with taking a player he believes is the best available talent when they might be projected to go later. This careful consideration could set the team up for long-term success if Stribling can indeed rise to the occasion. As the 49ers gear up for a Super Bowl run, the emergence of Stribling adds another layer of intrigue to an already stacked roster. If quarterback Brock Purdy can utilize all available targets effectively, the 49ers could find themselves making a serious playoff push. Now, let's transition to our next segment, where we'll dive deeper into the implications of these draft decisions and how they might play out in the upcoming season.
As we dive deeper into the changes within the San Francisco 49ers roster following the 2026 NFL Draft, it's crucial to highlight the shifts occurring in the wide receiver room. With the draft now in the rearview mirror, the team is unlikely to make any significant roster moves before training camp, making this an opportune moment for fans to assess the state of the position. The addition of Evans stands out as a bold strategic move aimed at pushing the roster over the edge. While his injury history over the past 2 seasons raises eyebrows, he's missed considerable time. His track record in the playoffs is a compelling counterpoint. If the 49ers can harness his explosiveness and keep him healthy for a playoff run, this signing could pay off handsomely. We all know that playoff experience can often be the difference maker, and with Evans' history of big plays, the potential reward is there. However, not all is well in the wide receiver room. Pearsall, after 2 seasons, has proven unreliable when it comes to health, casting doubt on his future as a dependable starter. This year is pivotal for him, not just to prove his worth, but also because the team will have to make a decision regarding his 5th-year option. Given his struggles, it's hard to envision the 49ers picking that up unless he surprises everyone this season. Kirk, on the other hand, had a strong prime but has faced his own injury issues, posting just 379 and 239 yards in the last 2 seasons. Right now, he's clinging to the third receiver spot, but with Stribling drafted to inject some youth and competition, Kirk must elevate his game or risk being outpaced. Stribling's arrival is timely. He's expected to provide depth and perhaps even challenge for that third spot. Given the health concerns surrounding Kirk and Pearsall, Stribling should see ample opportunity to showcase his skills during training camp. Then there's Watkins, who had a lackluster rookie season. His speed and potential playmaking ability could see him learning the ropes from Kirk, but he'll need to step up significantly to carve out a role in this competitive environment. Meanwhile, Cowing hasn't made a strong impression yet, but the team is in desperate need of talent in the return game, and he might just fill that void. Robinson's situation is becoming increasingly precarious. He hasn't delivered on expectations, and with the influx of new talent, 2 free agents, and a draft pick, the likelihood of him remaining with the team is diminishing. The competition is fierce, and as the roster solidifies, he must demonstrate his value to avoid being cut. Bergen is right there with him, vying for return duties and pushing for a roster spot. Turner remains a reliable veteran presence, providing necessary depth, while Grimes, a rookie UDFA, possesses the physical traits needed but will likely spend time on the practice squad to hone his skills. Pauling, meanwhile, is currently third in the return game pecking order behind Cowing and Bergen, showing that there's no shortage of competition for those special teams roles. Lastly, Ayuk is still on the roster, bringing a level of intrigue and expectation. Fans should be watching closely to see how the wide receiver group evolves as we approach training camp. The competition will be fierce, and as injuries have proven in past seasons, depth will be crucial for the 49ers' success. As we shift focus to the next topic, it's clear that the wide receiver room is a microcosm of the 49ers' larger narrative, filled with potential, but equally fraught with the uncertainty of injuries and performance. Let's see what the next development holds for this talented yet unpredictable roster.
As we dive into the final segment of this video, let's turn our attention to a name that hasn't generated a lot of buzz in the 2026 NFL draft coverage: Carver Willis. The San Francisco 49ers' fourth-round pick might not be the headline-grabbing selection that fans often crave. But let me tell you, there's much more to this decision than meets the eye. Fans, where are you watching from today? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this pick and what you think Willis can bring to the team. Now, while it's easy to overlook a guard selection in the fourth round, history has shown us that this position can be pivotal for any successful offensive line. Willis enters with the potential to be a reliable starter, a role that, although not glamorous, is invaluable in the trenches. Analysts like Josh Edwards from CBS Sports have even pointed out that this move was one of the more intriguing choices made by the 49ers during draft weekend, and that's something worth considering. The 49ers have a recent track record that supports this optimism. Players like Spencer Burford, Nick Zakelj, Colton McKivitz, and Justin Skule have all managed to outperform their draft expectations and solidify their places in the NFL. These are success stories that should not be ignored, especially when we look at the potential for Willis to follow a similar path. Dominic Puni's transition from tackle to guard in the third round last year serves as a strong example of how players can rise to the occasion and contribute significantly. Evaluating Willis requires us to consider the transition he's making from college tackle to NFL guard. This isn't uncommon. Many college tackles find themselves moving inside at the professional level. While this shift can often spark some uncertainty during the draft process, it can also play to the advantage of players like Willis. Those who have experience at tackle generally possess superior movement skills compared to traditional guards, which can translate into success when adapting to a new role. Willis embodies this profile. He brings a solid set of athletic traits to the table, along with a history of starting and experience in a zone-based system, which is precisely what the 49ers value in their offensive linemen. It's these foundational elements that give us hope for his development within the 49ers system. However, we must remain grounded in our expectations. As a fourth-round pick, there's no certainty that Willis will morph into a long-term starter. The spectrum of outcomes for players in his position can vary widely. But let's not forget, if he can develop into a consistent, league-average guard, the 49ers will have struck gold in terms of value for where he was selected. While this pick may not ignite immediate excitement among the fan base, it's crucial to understand that its impact could grow over time. Should Willis reach his potential and secure a starting role for several seasons, This selection could eventually be seen as one of the shrewdest moves made by the 49ers during the draft. As we wrap up this analysis, it's clear that while the spotlight often shines brightest on flashy skill positions, the success of a team is built in the trenches. Carver Willis represents a strategic investment in the future of the 49ers offensive line, and while we may not see immediate fireworks, the development of this young player could be the kind of story that defines a season. So fans, what do you think? Is Willis the under-the-radar pick that will pay dividends in the long run for the 49ers? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for all the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. Your voice matters in this community, and together, we can analyze every move our team makes.